Good afternoon. Welcome to the Reno Jazz Festival. Are you having a good time today? Great. My name's Andy Heglund, and I teach drums and percussion here at UNR. Been doing it for about 20 years. And one of the great joys of this job is getting to work with really talented younger folks. And got one of them up here on stage right now. David Gervais is a senior. Yeah, David Gervais. David is a senior jazz performance major at UNR. He just did his recital about a month or so ago. It was fantastic. And we've been, of course, working together the last 4 years. And just last year, we got the idea to do a drum duo. And it had been something that had been bouncing around in my head, and I started to write some things for it. And we started practicing and working on it and kind of collaborating. So that's what we have today. We have about 4 pieces, and we may also do a short solo snippet by each of us. The first piece is called Bunker, and dedicated to the great drummer Larry Bunker. Played with Bill Evans back in the 60s. Always enjoyed his playing, and we're exploring some of his ideas. So I'm sort of using the drum duo as a way to learn vocabulary or licks, whatever you want to call them. And the other thing, you don't get to play with other drummers. When you're a drummer, you don't get to play with another drummer. So this is an opportunity for drummers to play together. And hope you enjoy this first one, Bunker. I should probably also tell you, this is over the form. It's a 12-bar blues, the tune Israel. So that's kind of going on in the background. It is a 12-bar form. next one we're going to play is actually the first of these that I wrote or worked on. And the idea behind this next one is to explore the sounds of the cymbals. Because those of us that are drummers, we get addicted to cymbals, and many of you probably have, like I have, collected a lot of different cymbals, over the years, and occasionally you find a gem in a pawn shop, and they don't know what they've got. It's an old K Istanbul from the 50s, and you tell the guy at the pawn shop, this is an old cymbal, kind of an old crusty looking thing. It looks like a Sears Ted Williams model, but I'll give you $50 for it. And that's how I got one of the nice old Ks that I have. Anyways, so this explores cymbals, different pitches, and even melodies on them. That's the first part of it. And then the second part, for all you drum nerds out there, it is kind of a hybrid rudiment that I came up with, I didn't come up with it, a lot of people use it, but it's a paradiddle-diddle. Paradiddle-diddle, everybody is right, left, left, with a bass drum on the end of it. So it's and we do some things with it. We play it in unison, we offset it, and we voice different melodic things on the toms. Kind of a minimalist approach to the paradiddle-diddle. Maybe that'd be a good title for this. Anyways, here it is, hope you like it. going to do a couple short solo pieces. So I'm going to do one of my favorites, or inspired by one of my favorites, Max Roach. And this is kind of a little thing on the drum also waltzes, kind of a theme and variations. I hope you enjoy it.
Gervais. I go by Pudge. That's how my friends call me. So I'm going to play you a solo piece that I wrote. Basically, there's just a couple different melodic ideas, and then I kind of leave it up to myself to improvise the rest and try and think as compositionally as I can with it. But I just have a couple different motifs that I know I'm going to get into, and then just kind of see where it goes. So yeah, when I wrote these motifs, I was really going out in nature a lot and just really inspired by how, I don't know, yeah, nature never really ceases to like amaze me in its perfection, but its variance in all different ways. And yeah, I guess it doesn't have a specific meaning to it, but it's kind of what I was thinking about. So yeah, this one's called Meadow Flower. I hope you enjoy it.
David's going to tell you a little bit about the next duo, and we're going to do a cowbell switch here.
All right, cool. So me and Dr. Heglund co-wrote this next piece. I don't know if anyone knows or has heard different forms of like Afro-Cuban drumming, but I've been really interested in Afro-Cuban music. I actually took a trip to Cuba in the winter and got to study and learn a lot, so I'm really in love with the music from there. So the main thing I'm into is the Batá drum. Does anyone know what Batá drums are? Heard of them or seen them? Nice, yeah. So they're typically played in a trio, 3 drummers, and they're 2-sided. So there's like a low head that has a tone and a high head that has a more like slappy sound. And there's a whole world of repertoire to learn. And they're religious drums, so they have each rhythm has like really specific purpose to what's being played for. So I've been studying with a guy named Mike Spiro out of the Bay Area for a couple years now, and I'm always thinking about Batá drumming and the melodies and the vocabulary that I'm learning from that. So I wanted to try, just with a couple different things, just try and apply it to drum set a little bit, have some motivic, like melodic material. And it worked out. We combined a little bit of my writing with a tune by Dr. Heglund that typically has horns and piano and bass, but we just adapted it to some drumming and some improvising. So do you want to explain that? Or?
Yeah, the second half of this is also inspired by Batá drumming, and it's a piece that I learned a little while back that had a rhythm in 35. So when you're in 35, you can have 7 5s or 5 7s, and it'll equal 35. So this thing we're going to do when we go to the second half of it, it'll go to this section where you're probably not going to be able to find where 1 is, and hopefully we'll be able to find where it is. But it's the 35 7s and 5s going on, and at some point they'll actually be going on simultaneously. So hope you enjoy this one. got one more for you. And before I do that, I just want to thank you all for being here. Again, I'm Andy Heglund. I'm on the jazz faculty here at University of Nevada, Reno. And would love to talk with you afterwards. So I'll probably hang out here a little bit and see what you're all up to. I've heard some great groups so far at the festival, but looking forward to another day of it and great evening concerts. The last one that we're going to do is a groove that I've always loved. I love Dave Garibaldi. Raise your hand if you ever heard of Dave Garibaldi. Great drummer with Tower of Power. So this is similar to a groove he played on the Oakland Stroke. And then I actually recorded this with horns with a band. And what we're doing today is David is kind of playing the part of the horn players, which is actually a good exercise for drummers to do. Think of themselves as horn players instead of drummers. So what you're going to hear are some kind of cool things with the interaction of the melody and this drum groove to the Oakland Stroke. But thanks again for being here. Hope you have a great time at the rest of the festival, and see you soon.
You want your cowbell back? I have to be honest with you, I forgot my cowbell today. We're supposed to each have a cowbell. And in the hustle and bustle of moving over here, I left the cowbell, and David was nice enough to let me use it on the last piece. But, okay, all right. And please, no one do the more cowbell joke. I'm just...
another hand, David Gervais.